Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another behind the scenes unboxing video. Love these videos, love experiencing one of the best things about running a gear channel with you guys. And this is a bit of a special one, some crazy stuff this time. I won't spoil it ahead of time, but I think a lot of you are going to be very excited about what's coming up on the channel. And meanwhile, some of you are going to be like, yeah, you just threw money down the drain on that one. That being said, mess that like button up. That actually really helps out with the ever-changing whims of the algorithm. Let's go behind the scenes, unbox some stuff, and see what we've got coming up on the channel. Alright, first box. Really excited about this one. It's come from a long, long way. Let's open it up. Holy fucking shit. Oh, look at this. Alright, so Valiant is a brand based out of Ukraine, and they make some fucking awesome guitars. Even more outrageously impressive when you take into account what's happening in their country right now. And they had to evacuate their factory, and they're like, well, you know what, that sucks, but we're still gonna make fucking incredible guitars. But yeah, so this glorious thing is a Valiant Jupiter. And if you're a regular viewer and you're like, wait a second, that looks kind of familiar, it's because, yeah, I used to have one. It was my 2021 Guitar of the Year. It was legitimately one of the best guitars I've played in my life. Meticulous detail, great specs, and just absolute custom shop quality. The only reason I don't have the other one anymore is because Blackstone Cherry is one of my favorite bands ever. Chris Robertson, one of my favorite songwriters of all time, he was like, hey, I want to buy this. And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on selling it, but you are Chris Robertson of Blackstone Cherry, so okay, that's fair, I guess. But I've had a Jupiter-shaped hole in my heart ever since. And this one is dope because it's got a few custom modifications. First of all, oh man, I mean, this relic job is fucking beautiful. I know there are a lot of people that align with the Glenn Fricker school of thought on relicking, where they're just like, oh, relicking is for posers. Nah, man, it's not just the way that it looks, it's the way that it feels. Especially places like on the back of the neck, like that is so smooth and quick. And also places like the fingerboard edges that are super rolled, and it feels so comfortable. And this one is in a custom shell pink, and it looks so goddamn good. I mean, dude, just fucking look at that. They've even done a matching shell pink headstock. Fuck yes. And I love the detail that Valiant puts into their relics fingerboards. I mean, look at that. So that's the first change. This one is in shell pink, and I'm telling you, man, I loved that first Jupiter. So I wanted to keep a lot of what made it so special intact. Like this fingerboard, for example, is roasted hornbeam, which is a really, really hard material. It feels like ebony, but it looks like rosewood. And the maple inlays, which looks super cool. And then something that Valiant does that's super unique is they use a ton of duralumin in their builds. It's an aluminum alloy that's super light, super durable, and is generally reserved for only aerospace applications. So they were like, you know what, fuck it, let's just put those on guitars. They use it for the bridge, these two control panels, the control knobs with the ebony inlays, duralumin neck plate with the engraved serial. I thought that was really cool. So this time we've even done duralumin side dots. Bell bronze saddles for a little extra warmth. Man, the Ukrainians don't fuck around. Look at this case. This is like a weapon case. And you know, I love these old school looking guitars, but I am a metal player, so these are bare knuckle polymath pickups. It's Nolly's signature pickup set, so those should chug quite nicely. D'Addario locking tuners, very nice. Nut and string trees from the Nutmaster's Graphtech. And the last big upgrade, these frets are now jumbo and made of stainless steel. How cool is this, by the way? They put the truss rod spoke wheel in the fingerboard. So yeah, I mean, I fucking love guitars like this. One, it's shell pink, which is metal as fuck. Just ask these guys. But also, I mean, it looks like an old guitar. It's got such a vintage vibe to it. But under the hood, my god, is this thing a modern metal beast. And also, I mean, it's not just the specs, it's the fucking quality of it. So yeah, I'm so excited to start making videos with this guitar. But also, I'm really proud to announce I'm doing a bit of a collaboration with Valiant.
Red Pringle!
Good girl. She's out here because she heard the Roomba going upstairs and got concerned. Everything's okay. Hey, Hunter and editing here. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the collaboration we're doing together. Valiant is still trying to rebuild their business as their entire country is trying to rebuild it. So we're doing an extremely limited run of this aged shell pink Jupiter and of the Smith I've been using. Each run is limited to only 25 units. They'll be individually numbered and they'll come with custom Mola Mola graphics. And really cool, a portion of each sale will go directly to the humanitarian organization Save the Children, who provide immediate aid and assistance to children and families affected and displaced by war. I'm extremely proud they've asked me to partner up with them. The Valiant factory literally had to be evacuated because the area was hit with a cruise missile, and they're already back making incredible guitars like this. Valiant in name and in spirit, it would seem. The specs on these are absolutely nuts. Let me just read the spec sheets out to you. The Jupiter has an alder body, hand-aged nitro finish, quarter-sawn titanium reinforced maple neck, roasted hornbeam fingerboard, 22 jumbo stainless steel frets, bare knuckle polymath humbuckers, no-load tone pot, D'Addario locking tuners, Graphtec string trees and nut, proprietary Duralumin bridge, with bell bronze saddles. The Smith has a mahogany body with a satin back, gloss maple top, satin 3-piece maple neck with titanium reinforcement, roasted hornbeam fingerboard, 22 jumbo stainless steel frets, a bare knuckle war pig humbucker, no-load tone pot, Godot 510 locking tuners, proprietary Duralumin bridge, bell bronze saddles, and a bell bronze nut. These are custom shop level instruments, meticulously handcrafted, so they won't be cheap, but the quality on these are insane. I mentioned it before, wasn't planning on selling my first Jupiter at all, but then Chris Robertson of Blackstone Cherry played 2 chords on it and then demanded to buy it on the spot. He started using it for shows immediately, which is nuts. They really are that good. So yeah, something I'm excited and proud of. Not sure when they'll be up for pre-order, but stay tuned for more details. Speaking of nuts and really that good, the sponsor of today's video. Yes, so before we get into the next box, let's take a quick second to thank today's sponsor, Ridge Wallet. And if you watch as much YouTube as I do, you've probably heard of them before and how they're redefining the wallet. And that's because traditional wallets kind of suck. They're big, they're bulky, collect all sorts of useless stuff, and that just doesn't happen with the Ridge. And they're not just a sponsor, I actually use a Ridge wallet every day. I love the design. It's sleek, it's small form factor that can fit into your front pocket. The plate's made of aluminum, titanium, or carbon fiber or RFID blocking to block scammers from stealing your information, and they're held together by a durable elastic band. It's really easy to access whatever card you need, the quality is excellent, and each wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee. And now they're also tackling out-of-hand keychains with the key case, which is basically a slim wallet for your keys, and it's classic Ridge in design, slim, lightweight, and durable. There are loads of colors to choose from, the mattress style, and they're always adding more. I'm using Forged Pacific. I got my buddy Navy Aluminum for his birthday. He loves it, and this is still Pringle's favorite. So if you want to see why so many people are switching over to Ridge Wallet and love it, head on over to ridge.com/Agufish and use my code Agufish for 10% off your order and free shipping. Link will also be in the description, and of course, clicking the link helps support the channel by letting them know that I sent you, and that in turn helps fund the fun stuff you'll see in a second. While you're doing that, let's see what else we have to open up. Next box. Got a couple of big ones I think we'll save for later. Let's go with this little one down here. What guitar could this be? Let's open it up. Alright, very cool. We've got a classic humbucker, and also something that I've just realized there's an information embargo on. So you'll hear more about this later. But yeah, can someone say classic high integrity project? Fuck, I hate when I can't show you guys cool stuff, but Fishman will get mad at me and then we can't do any more of these. So bear with me, fun videos are coming. Next box. If I remember what these are, it shouldn't really matter what order we open these in. This was an impulse eBay buy. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, wait, I can explain. Obviously, this thing has seen better days, but when you find a vintage Gibson single cut for 300 bucks, you pick it up, even if there might be some issues. But let me tell you what this is first. This is a 1980 Gibson Sonex Deluxe. The listing said it was a custom. It's not a custom because it's got a rosewood board instead of ebony, which is gonna need some work to restore it to its former glory, but it is a nice piece of rosewood. Generally for me, I stay away from rosewood. It's ebony or maple, but there's something about these old rosewood boards that feels great. Someone also played the crap out of this thing. Like, the edges are super rounded, and you can see the dents in the frets and everything. The Sonex was an entry-level Gibson. I've never seen this logo before, actually, and I have no idea what's happened with all these paint splatters. But as I was saying, the Sonex was an entry-level model. You can tell because the body, which has seen some better days, is a flat top. Mostly, I mean, it's got some beveling and some nice rounding over here. Here it is from the back. It's got a belly cut, and it's a bolt-on. You know, they were cheaper to make and cheaper to buy 40 years later, because now Les Paul Customs, even Norlands, are stupid expensive. And there's a few reasons why I wanted to pick this up. One, it's a vintage single cut. Two, it's got that thin Norland neck shape that I absolutely love. Plus the volute, that's always a bonus. From all the yellowing, you can tell, I mean, this is a proper nitro finish, and once we clean it up, it's gonna look real nice, because I'm not gonna lie, it looks a bit shit now. Like, what's even happened here? This is disgusting. But that helps with number 4, the price. For 300 bucks, it's gonna make for a really cool mod project. The Sonexes actually have a really solid cult following. It's really easy to get custom pick guards made for it. Now, fully original stock examples of the Gibson Sonex are actually pretty pricey these days. So there were a few reasons that I can see already that made this one particularly affordable. There's obviously all this ugliness, which I'm actually not too worried about because the pickguard is gonna cover all that. It is kind of funny to see all the work that's underneath though. I mean, all these hand routs are janky as hell. And I mean, you can see back in the day, everything is hand routed. And you can see the body is made of multiple pieces of wood. This might be maple and this might be mahogany actually. Anyways, under here, not too worried about it. The rest of the top, I don't know, I might strip it and refinish it, or I might just leave it because I like a guitar that really shows its battle scars. I'm generally not a huge fan of covering a guitar's history up, but I mean, this just looks dirty. The bigger problem I'm seeing that was not disclosed in the listing is that this is a pretty solid body crack. Let me try to get the camera to pick this up, but I mean, you can see that is not a tight fit on this side at all for the neck, and it's even worse on this side. I mean, that's not even close to being lined up. I don't know if this was originally just a terrible fit. I don't know whether it has something to do with this body crack widening the neck pocket, or because this is a bolt-on, this neck might have been paired with a completely different body. Oh yeah, and there's also this that I've just noticed. That's not great either. There's this crack here, which I'm fairly certain is just finished, but then there's this crack here, which, let me get the camera to focus, may or may not be body as well. Anyways, I'm definitely taking it to Wendell's because I mean, the thing is gonna need a ton of work, but you know what? There's a lot of potential here, and for the content, I figured 300 bucks was worth a punt on it. I mean, come on, if we can rest mod this, a vintage Gibson Sonex, put some stainless steel frets on it, maybe Graphtec string saver bridge, those mystery fishwins, hip shot locking tuners. I mean, mark my words, this is gonna be one beast of a guitar when we're done with it. Actually, what am I doing? Let me ask you, what would you do with this husk? How would you mod this to be an absolute monster of an updated Gibson Sonex? I look at all the comments, so drop those suggestions down below. In the meantime, I think we've looked at this enough. It's gonna need some work. That rosewood board is so nice. I'm pretty excited for this project. All right, let's move on. Okay, last box for this episode. It's another big one. FedEx was slightly less kind with this one. Hopefully everything's okay. Let's open it up, see what's inside. All right, again, I can explain. So, this is another of the same guitar. But what happened is I had just bought the other one, and this popped up about a day later. It was cheaper, and it came with the original hard case, which in hindsight, I can definitely see why. Yeah, I would have thrown this in for free too. But it's still kind of cool to have, I guess. Somewhere for the roaches to live. But yeah, so this one needs even more work somehow. This rosewood board not quite as nice. The fit is, again, not great. I have no idea what happened to the side here. And again, this part is cracked, so I'm wondering if that was just a defect with these models. Like, for whatever reason, this part is just structurally not sound. And this is smaller, but there's also a chunk taken out of the body right here, so I wonder if that was another common issue with these. Regardless, I'll take them both to my luthier Wendell. I'm sure that's not a problem. A bigger problem is the absolutely horrendous refinish job someone has tried to do on this. Listen, I respect the effort, but I do not respect the results. So at some point, a previous owner decided, hey, I want to make this a metallic Pelham blue. And you can still see the remnants of that on the neck, whatever is going on there. And then they decided, actually, nah, fuck that, let's go back to the original color. And they kind of started sanding it off. Actually, on the headstock, that's really cool. I like when you've got like the top coat and then it started to relic, so you can see the original finish and the bare wood. Again, this one was pretty cheap because of the horrendous refinish, but also it has had a headstock brake, classic Gibson. Feels pretty solid now, not worried about it at all. What the fuck is happening here? Why are there extra screw holes? Anyways, the finish, I'm not quite sure why they did this. The top, they did manage to get all the blue off. They've also managed to pretty much strip all the finish off. So it's not quite bare wood, you can see it there, but I mean, there is no gloss left here whatsoever. And then they painted the back, it looks and feels like, so yeah. Listen, I'm happy with it for the price I paid for it, but yeah. Again, it needs some work. Right, so at this point you might be like, okay, Hunter, why did you buy 2 of these in shit condition? Why the fuck did you do this? Well, my friend, one man's trash. I love vintage single cuts. As I said, I love the neck shapes on these, and I love the concept of Restomod projects. Taking guitars that have had years of abuse, years of music written and played on them, and turning them into sleeper modern metal monsters. And I also love the concept of balance, of yin and yang. So the idea is modding these at the same time to be similar but opposite. I did the same thing with my 70s Les Paul Customs, right? They were both husks at the beginning. Both got stainless steel frets and a new lease on life, but the 72, that got gold hardware. It had the active Fishman-Fluence Willie Adler set. The 74, that got nickel hardware, passive bare knuckle aftermath pickups. So that was the idea, twin but opposite Les Paul Customs. And kind of the same thing when I did the Metallica themed EX84 modern mod projects. Opposite colors, one with Kirk Hammett's Bone Breakers, the other with James Hetfield's headset. So I thought, you know what, let's do the same thing here. So again, let me ask you, now that I've kind of explained what I'm going for here, I have a rough idea, but no specifics in mind. What should I do with these? Especially the second one. That one is a complete blank slate because it needs to be refinished and everything. How should I mod these? What mods should I do on these? What parts should I put in these husks? Oh, actually, you know what? As I'm looking at both of them, I am seeing a little bit of a difference. So I guess this one was a lower tier model. The inlays are cloudy plastic, whereas this one, they look like mother of pearl, actually. The camera's doing a terrible job of picking this up, but these are definitely shinier and kind of more metallic looking. Or it may just be because someone's scratched the absolute hell out of this fingerboard and then maybe just cloudy and need to be cleaned up. I don't know, man. I need to take these to Wendell's Music for a complete forensic analysis. He's generally pretty good at looking at these old husks and being like, okay, so here's what they tried to do, but here's how they fucked up. Anyways, let me know. How should I mod these, or have I just completely wasted a ton of money? Any and all thoughts, suggestions, beratements, leave them in the comments. And that'll do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes video. Seriously, this is one of the coolest parts about running a gear channel, just unboxing cool shit. And I love that I get to share it with you guys, you know, just get the first impressions, check cool new gear out together. Make sure you subscribe, you've got all notifications turned on, that way you don't miss any of the full gear demos, and you don't miss the modernized Restomod results of those 2 vintage guitars. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all my amazing patrons who make this and basically everything that happens on the channel possible. If you want to join them in supporting the content and get bonus extras as well as help upgrade everything to a crispy 4K for even better content for you guys, link will be in the description. In the meantime, social media, Discord, and affiliate links are down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I will see you for the next video.